Hey guys, welcome back to the world of EnglishExams.com, and in this video we are going to look at one of the 9 essay types on the IELTS writing module, that is problems and solutions. Yes, so this is a very important essay type, and as always I keep telling you that to achieve a good score on the writing module, it is very important for you as a test taker to understand the format as well as the way in which you have to represent your ideas. So it's not enough to just have the ideas in your mind, but how exactly you portray them is going to decide your score. So without any further delay, let's get into the video, and in this video we are going to target the way in which an introduction can be framed for this essay type, that is problems and solutions. So we will begin the video by discussing the various types of essays, and then we will look at this essay type specifically and then write a perfect introduction. And I'm also going to discuss a structure that can be applicable for all the types of essays, specifically the problems and solutions. So do stay tuned till the end of the video to know the complete information regarding how you can write a perfect introduction for this essay type. Yes, so as you can see clearly on the screen, these are the 9 types of essays, one of which would be given in the main exam. So the first one says discuss both views. The second one is discuss both views and give your opinion. The third one is do you agree or disagree. The fourth one is to what extent do you agree or disagree. The fifth one is problems and solutions that we are going to look at in this essay. And a similar kind of essay is causes and effects or consequences. The seventh type of essay is advantages and disadvantages. The next one is do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and the last one is a two-way question or a double question. So the information along with the detailed description and an example question for each of these essay types can be found on our YouTube channel World of English Exams, as well as on our website www.worldofenglishexams.com. Not only this guys, I am also going to link a video about how you can paraphrase. Paraphrasing is an essential skill for all the modules of the IELTS exam. In a specific, it is very important in the writing module to be able to paraphrase. So I'm going to give the link in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. So let's get started with this video about problems and solutions. So what to write? This is a common question which most of the students have in their mind. Oh, what exactly is the question? How to understand this question? So that is very important. Now, in this kind of essay, what will be given is a scenario or a situation will be given to you, and you would be asked to put forth certain problems and also discuss the solutions to tackle the same. So one point which everyone must understand about this question type is the question says problems and solutions. So you must understand that it is not in the singular form, it is in the plural form. So which means that you have to discuss a minimum of 2 problems and give a minimum of 2 solutions. If you just talk about one problem and one solution, unfortunately your score will go down. We don't want that. So this is how you need to understand the question. Fine. So now let's look at a general structure of an essay, and this is the structure that must be followed for all the types of essays. So in general, there would be 3 parts to an essay. The first one is called introduction, followed by body, and lastly you have to write the conclusion. So introduction, body and conclusion are the 3 essential parts in an essay. So make sure that you write a very good introduction, followed by the body paragraphs in which you give a detailed view about your impression or your opinion. And then you have to approach a reasoned conclusion wherein all your ideas are justified and summed up properly. So these are the three basic steps that you have to bear in your mind. Now, how to write an introduction. So a basic introduction for any kind of essay would be containing three parts to it. The first one is known as paraphrase statement, the second one is the thesis statement, and the last one is the general overview statement. I repeat, the first one is the paraphrase, second is the thesis, and the final statement is the general overview. So make sure that you understand each of these statements very clearly as we proceed, because each of these statements would carry equal significance in giving a particular band score to you. So now first of all, what is a paraphrase statement? Paraphrase means that you have to modify the words that are given in the question prompt without changing the meaning. So the meaning, whatever is conveyed through the question prompt, must remain the same, but the choice of words or the arrangement of the phrases in the sentence should be changed. In other words, it is essential to remember that you should not copy the given question prompt as it is and repeat words from the question. Okay, so you have to see that you do not repeat the words. You have to show the uniqueness of your style in writing the essay. So that effort to modify the words without changing the meaning is known as paraphrasing. So today I am going to show you one variation of how to paraphrase the given question prompt. And yes, as I was talking about, I will give a link in the description box that shows you the various ways of paraphrasing. So don't forget to watch that video if you want a clarity and if you want to develop a flexibility in paraphrasing. The second statement after paraphrasing is called as the thesis statement. So what exactly is a thesis statement? A thesis statement is something that gives an idea to the reader as to what is contained in the essay. So what are you exactly planning to do in the essay? Are you planning to agree? Are you planning to discuss the problems? Are you planning to tell them some advantages and disadvantages? What exactly are you doing in the subsequent parts of the essay should be highlighted in this statement. Now make sure that you don't give all the information in the introduction. The points must be highlighted. That's it. So you should not be discussing them at length. That can be done in the body paragraphs, but not in the thesis. However, a thesis is a statement that gives an essay a proper direction. Finally, there is an optional statement which you may write or you may avoid. That is known as a general overview statement. It's not mandatory for you to write. However, we have to meet a minimum word count of 250 words for an essay. Underlength essays are penalized. So just to have that on a safer side, we are going to write an additional statement that is known as a general overview, in which you can actually outline your opinion once again to make it clear for the reader as to what is the message that is conveyed in the subsequent parts of the essay. Now, having understood the three sentence structure, paraphrase, thesis and general overview, why don't we take a question from the Cambridge past papers and try to frame an introduction? That would be a wonderful idea, isn't it? So yes, today I'm going to help you with that. Now, this is how a question for problems and solutions looks like. Let me read the question. Nowadays, we are producing more and more rubbish. So the question is about the increase in the amount of garbage. So that is the primary problem. And why do you think this is happening? So they are asking us to state certain causes or reasons for the problem, followed by the second part of the question, which reads, what can the governments do to help reduce the amount of rubbish produced? So they are asking us to discuss the role of the government. What measures or what steps can the government take to lower the extent of this problem, to mitigate the problem? So this would be discussed in detail in this video. But how should we understand this? We have to first break the question into the scenario part and the question part. So the scenario reads as, nowadays we are producing more and more rubbish. So now what should we do? We must immediately get an idea that in this essay the causes and the solutions would be discussed. So accordingly we are going to frame the ideas, and I am going to take you through this introductory part sentence by sentence. So do stay tuned. Now, the first statement, as I told you, is the paraphrase of the question. So now I have given the question prompt again. Nowadays we are producing more and more rubbish. And the paraphrased version of it would be, producing ginormous quantities of trash is a pressing problem these days. So as you can see, I have used a better vocabulary here, but I haven't modified the meaning. The meaning still remains the same, that nowadays or these days producing ginormous quantities of trash. So instead of rubbish I have given it as trash. So more and more is given as ginormous, is a pressing problem. Yes, obviously it's an issue that is concerning the globe nowadays, isn't it? So all the countries across the globe are worrying about the increasing amount of rubbish that is being piled up in the landfills. So this is how you simply rewrite the given question prompt in your own words. That exactly is called paraphrasing. So once you have paraphrased it, you are now ready to write the thesis statement as to what exactly you feel are the problems. We are just going to highlight them. We are not going to describe anything. And then we are going to follow by writing the general overview statement. Okay, so this is how a thesis statement would look. You're first going to introduce that, yes, of course, there are various reasons for it. The way to write the thesis statement is, there are copious number of reasons for this, such as overpopulation and consumerism. So you're stating two reasons, and that justifies the question that has been asked in the plural form, isn't it? So overpopulation is the primary cause, followed by another problem, another reason, that is consumerism. So in my first body paragraph I'm going to discuss about both these causes. Then in the next part of the essay, that is the second body paragraph, what am I going to do? However, which means that yes, the first paragraph has spoken in detail about the problems. However, these problems can be solved by the government. However, the government can tackle such menaces by passing strict regulations like banning the use of non-biodegradable materials and making people cognizant of the dire consequences of excessive waste production. So I am telling the reader that yes, there are two problems, majorly overpopulation followed by consumerism. However, I am also proposing two solutions, that is banning the use of non-biodegradable materials because they harm the environment and they are not degraded. It would take a lot of time for them to be degraded, and sometimes they wouldn't be degraded at all. So that causes a lot of harm to the environment. That is the first solution, to ban their use. Okay, and the second solution can be making the people cognizant, that is spreading awareness among the public about the dire consequences, that is the ill effects, the negative impact that excessive waste would have on the environment, of course on the society, and eventually on the environment as a whole. So now the reader is convinced that the body paragraphs are going to be logically sequenced. So now, having stated the reasons and the solutions, we are now going to move on to the general overview statement or the outline statement. So what will be the course of the essay? How am I going to project my ideas? So this essay will, are you able to see that this statement is in the future tense? Are you wondering why? The answer is simple, guys. So far, by the time I write the general overview, I might not have started to write the body paragraphs. Yes, so that is the reason I'm telling the reader that I'm giving him or her an idea that in the subsequent parts of the essay, I will first discuss the reasons in the first body paragraph, of course, and then put forth some measures to tackle these issues. So not only am I going to talk about the issues, but I'm also going to propose certain measures to handle these issues, these challenges. So this is how I would write an introduction, guys. So and overall, after I frame all the sentences into one paragraph, so this is how the introduction would look. Producing ginormous quantities of trash is a pressing problem these days. There are copious number of reasons for this, such as overpopulation and consumerism. However, the government can tackle such menaces by passing strict regulations like banning the use of non-biodegradable materials and making the people cognizant of the dire consequences of excessive waste production. This essay will first discuss the reasons and then and will then put forth some measures to tackle these issues. So if at all you're writing such an introduction, that would be brilliant, because it's going to give the direction to the essay, as well as it's going to create a very good first impression in the mind of the reader. Don't you feel so? So yes, this is how you write it. The first statement is the paraphrase. Second statement, which starts from there are copious number. So that statement is the thesis, followed by the last statement that this essay will discuss. That is the overview, the general outline statement. Now, the challenge is on your part. Now, having understood how to write the essay, I would now give you a time of, let's say, 4 minutes. And I want you to frame a very good introduction for the same question prompt. And you may drop your comments in the comment section below, and we would love to hear from you. So now the time of 4 minutes for you to write the introduction starts now. One minute up. You have 3 minutes more to write the introduction. 2 more minutes. 1 minute more. Fine. So that would be the end of the 4 minute time. I hope all of you were able to write very good introductions for this essay type, and I hope this video is really helpful. If at all you felt that it was useful, so do give it a huge thumbs up and share it with all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the World of English Exams. So till I see you with another video in which I would be discussing the body and the conclusion. Happy preparation, guys.